Sup, niggas? All right. As most of you know, I'm going to San Diego soon. I'm here spending time with my family now to say goodbye. When you go on tour for skateboarding, sometimes you're gone for years. Tonight on my YouTube channel, I'm going to premiere the beginning of my documentary, and that is both telling the entire world about how fucked up skateboarding is, the industry. Skateboarding is beautiful, but the industry is like, it's bad, and people pretend like everything's like good and glorious, and it's not. There's another thing too. The problem is that companies like McDonald's and Paul Mitchell and movies, like famous movies that you've seen. Haven't you noticed a lot of skateboarding randomly? I saw a Dick's Sporting Good commercial where they had a little skateboard in the background just to attach skateboarding to it. But none of those CEOs have ever done a kickflip in their life. And, this is the problem. I've broken 37 bones to get 2 people to watch me. But then they make millions off of our backs. And by our, I mean skateboarders. I'll premiere all my epilogues here on Facebook. You're going to have to go to my channel on YouTube, which is Die by the Board, DIEBYTHEBOARD on YouTube to kind of see the goods. So, but for now, I'm just going to give you the prologue, like the beginning of it, so you guys can understand. Here, let me move you closer. It's kind of sick because it's just a cup. There's just like a cup behind this phone. It's kind of gas. I can just do it, but all right. So the prowess of this documentary is pretty much to say that when I was 16, that's when I came down from Washington State. That was after my house burnt down when I was 14. My house burnt down in San Diego, California. It was a Crest fire. You can look it up. It was a fire in Crest. It's a little up the hill above Granite Hills High School. That was right after the shooting. When school shootings were happening or whatever, that was one of the first school shootings was at Granite Hills High School. I was attending Granite Hills when that happened. A little time after that, Crest had a weird fire. There's a lot of wildfires. I mean, even currently there's a lot of wildfires in Cali. So they ended up burning down my house, and we rented that house. It wasn't we didn't own a house. My mom was super, super, super poor. She had a bad addiction to drugs. My dad was actually super, super smart. At the time, he wasn't as well off as he is now. This is my dad's house. And, he's balling. I don't know, I have a TV behind me, and a TV in front of me. On God. Nigga, look, yeah. I'm watching, 30 for 30 on ESPN right now. I just decided that, it's just time. Or it could be the vodka talking. I don't know. But, it's amazing. Anywho, so my house had burnt down in Crest, and that made us, forced us to go to Washington State. When we'd gone to Washington State, that's when I realized that Washington rains a lot. It actually rains, I really want to say, about 295 days a year. It took me a long time to get over that. I got seasonal depression from that, and it was tough, and that was from 14 to 16. I had worked at McDonald's, And the McDonald's it's still there actually. I actually saw it recently. So that was off of, let's see, it's right by the Safeway. What was the street? I can't even. Oh my God. I worked at McDonald's for like 2 years, but I worked like 45 hours a week. It was ridiculous. Anybody who knows me from Olympia, Washington, who's like watching this or seeing this, you know the McDonald's I'm talking about, my guy. It's right across the street from Indian Summers Golf Course. Y'all know what I'm saying. And then it was like right there. I'm pretty sure it was like off of Ruddle Road. If you know where the skate park is off of Ruddle Road, it's still there. It was one of those blue metal parks. The metal ones that like in the heat, it like burn you if you fall when you skate. It like sucks. But like it was the gas. I can like post a video of Ruddle Road skate park, but that was like a huge thing for me. Anyways, I had traveled from San Diego when my house burned down to Washington, lived there and worked at the McDonald's for a couple of years. And then after that, during that time, I think it was like the peak of kind of my mom's addiction. I mean, of course, like me, myself, I was just smoking hella weed and drinking. That was before weed was legal in Washington State. So I was just like chiefing, partying. Like in Washington State, it rains so much that people all have seasonal depression. It's a really depressing and toxic place because the people are quite sad because it rains. And now I'm not saying that everybody there is sad. It's actually a really, really spiritual town. The air is the freshest I've ever smelled. I'm not saying anything bad about the people, but I am saying that the place itself it's just rains all the time. Any place that rains all the time is kind of like that. It raised a lot of hippies, and that was, like I said, that was before weed was legal. Now that weed's legal there, of course, they're much happier. Anyways, during that time, unfortunately, my mom was taking a lot of money from me, like my paychecks from my McDonald's, and I was kind of sad about that, but in the end, I really wanted to kind of let her do it. It wasn't really like, it wasn't against my mom, like I could care less. I'm somewhere deep down, I'm a good person, but I really knew that anything she took, regardless of whether it was spent on like drugs or my family, it was going to a good place. Even if, for instance, if I wanted to buy a sack and cigarettes and beer, my mom gave me $20 and I bought it, she wouldn't care. She just would care that it made me happy at the time. So I felt the same way. So I kind of just like let that go. It got to the point where I was losing a lot though. And then I made a conscious decision at 16 to bounce out to San Diego. Back to San Diego. Even before then, though, I had like a great relationship in San Diego. I knew people like Travis Thomas, like Jared Cheney. I knew people like Brian Scandunas, like Felix Elgato, like El Chris, Brad Brink. Like there's a lot of Richard the Don, Tanigi Valentine. Like I can name the whole bro crew, like which I'll do. They all have their story. I will get to all that. But Kenny Little. There's so many good people that blessed me in San Diego that I knew I had to come back. So I ended up traveling back at 16, and that's when I kind of got to reunite with all of like my brothers essentially. And then that was me getting back into broke skateboards and stuff like that. And it was Jared Cheney who had like started skating with Brian Scandunas, and he kind of like got me to be able to come along with them. They were like a small company, just filming, doing YouTube videos, stuff like that. Jared Cheney was my best friend. He and I were there like when YouTube had first kind of built up. And that allowed me to just be influenced, or to become an influencer without me knowing. Like, when YouTube started, I got into it, okay? And then it was blowing up. And then as it was blowing up, right, then we started getting this motion going. Brian was super smart. He was like a welder at the time. He drove a 4Runner. So he had like the car, which was gas at the time. Like he had a car. So we were like, and we could go on trips, even if it was, you know, me and like Brian in the front, Brad in the back, Felix, Tanigi, and then Jared and I would be in the like the trunkish space. El Chris would be with us in the trunkish space. Stephen Kashat was like a god. You know, he was so good. Like I just like all of these guys who sat in the car were like people I looked up to so much. So much. I would be absolutely nothing without Broke Skateboards. You know, you can look at me as if I'm on Nike now and watch my videos, but you have to understand that I would be nothing without Broke Skateboards. You know, they actually made me, and Jared, Brian made a lot of pro models, but, you know, I got to see my pro model from Brian. I'll try to get the photos from him, the original photos, but it turns out that Jared Cheney had his first pro model, and it was Panda Express. So it was like Jared Cheney, but it was designed after Panda Express. He just liked it at the time. I had Subway because I was like, oh, I want to be fresh. And their term was like eat fresh. And then I was like skate fresh. So that was like Deion Harris. And that was my pro model board. I didn't realize at the time that that was me turning pro. It's kind of like now in life caused me a lot of pain because a lot of people don't believe, you know, that I'm pro or whatever. But it's, you know, like if all it is for you guys, the audience is, oh, he has his name on the bottom of a board, he's pro. Well, I was pro at like 16. Like it's, you guys have to really just expand your minds to realize that, you know, anyone can just start a board company and put your name on the bottom of a board and you're a pro skater. The trouble is you know, walking the walk. People watch your part and going through the comments, the racism or the hate, and you know, just kind of being good enough to not ignore it, but to do better. And that's what I strive for. Because YouTube had just started, so I wasn't gonna have like trash in the beginning. As time moved on, Broke Skateboards blew up. We ended up being like, we owned San Diego. There was times when we went to Renette Park and it was just filled with people because we were there. You know. And look at my friends list. Like, look at the names. I'm not lying. Ask them. You know. Tanigi Valentine did a full cab backtail big spin. Okay. Before anybody was flipping in and flipping out. Even Brian was killing it on that tip, that Joy Brzezinski tip tech manual, like crook, Manny, nollie 360 shove. Like, you know, we paved the way in San Diego, and I feel like a lot of people just don't realize how much fucking work that fucking took. Granted, some of us blew up, but most of us, it's not like everybody thinks you like fell off or some shit, and that's the dumbest shit. Nobody on Broke fell off. Everybody on Broke had to deal with life. Yeah. Brad Brink, for instance, he's an electrician. He's an amazing person, you know? He made money as an electrician. Why wouldn't you go and make money? There's a time when you have to literally grow up and realize that you can't make money off of skateboarding. You know, while I was trying to be a pro skateboarder and sleeping outside in gutters and shit, you know, a lot of us were deciding that, you know, it's time to grow up. You know, even a lot of them were telling us to grow up, you know, which is fine. I just made that decision to kind of sacrifice my own life because that's just what me and Jared had believed. We just believed that we could do this and we could actually be pro. Those are back in the times of Zero Dying to Live, Toy Machine videos. Like, it was really all about Zero and Baker. So we looked up to like Chris Cole. We looked up to Andrew Reynolds. So that's why Jared backfeebled a 16 stair when he was like 16. And then he actually did a thing about that where like he had grinded a stair set older than his age. Like there's more stairs than his age. Like I love Che. Like me and him, I love Che. So smart. He grinded to 17 when he was 16 to be like, I skated a stair older than my age, and that was gas. And then I couldn't really jump down gnarly rails, so I would jump down sets. And that's how we did it. People don't understand about the stories of our LA trips when, Jared, that famous stair set in Stay Gold. Brian Herman did a nollie tray down it. It was right in the beginning of his part. Jared Cheney had actually airwalk finger flipped it. The Baker team was there. Dustin Dolan pulled out $100 bill out of his pocket and dapped Jared up and gave him $100 for that trick. I think I was there to tray flip it, but Jared actually got the trick. So earlier we were exposed to them a lot. And, when they would come down to San Diego, there's just a chance that we would meet. There's a trailer on YouTube. It's the Broke 2 trailer. There's a trick where Brad Brink does I think it's nollie flip nose manual on this little manual pad. That same day Andrew Reynolds was there. He came later. I think I had tried to tray flip the big six. Jared Cheney tried to nollie back shove it, the big six. And they had showed up as we were leaving. We were kind of broke off. At that time, Andrew Reynolds had told me, when you're ready, come to LA. I was starstruck. I didn't really believe him. But, I'm going to go to LA soon. I'm going to go to San Diego. I'm from San Diego. I'm going to go to LA. And I'm going to go to the Baker Boys Dist. And I'm going to tell them that Andrew told me that to come when I'm ready, and I feel like I'm ready now. Because I've learned the sacrifice and how hard you have to work. Of course, Nike SB is flowing me now. It gives me a little bit of clout. I have some parts. This was before Tony Hawk had put my video on the Ride channel, which is also quite important, but that's something that kind of has to be discussed during the my actual documentary, which is on my page. The whole thing about that was because we were there when YouTube first started. Tony Hawk wanted to get on YouTube. Tony Hawk started the Ride channel, right? When it started, he contacted me to be one of the first people to ever premiere on that. Now I'm famous because of that. It was called Shredded Cards. 900 Films is the film company that works under Tony Hawk. His assistant hit me up. He actually invited me out there as soon as my part had blown up. I think I got 37,000 views or something on that part. But I was the first skateboarder on the Ride channel. So, I would walk around, thinking I was this shit, but, like I said, that's a little further ahead. We're still at, how broke skateboards kind of really influenced the scene of, El Cajon and La Mesa. People, once we had taken over this El Cajon, La Mesa, Spring Valley scene, we started meeting people like Saul Quintero. He was Chula Vista. And that's when we introduced us to people like Aldrin Garcia. I remember Alexis. You guys watch Skate Mafia and you see Alexis and he's switch 50-50ing these gnarly things. The guy on Skate Mafia, Alexis Ramirez, he used to wear helmets all the time. He should just always wear a helmet at Chula Vista Skate Park, and he didn't have to. We would tell him, Alexis, take off your fucking helmet. You are so good at skateboarding. Take off your helmet and you will blow up. Take off your helmet, take off your helmet. And it took him months and months, but we finally convinced him to take off his helmet, and he did. But we didn't know, we were just skating the Chula Park. We didn't know how savage the whole thing was because we were just some rats from El Cajon and La Mesa and Spring Valley and shit. We didn't fucking know. Going to Chula is where me and a bunch of us broke people met Tommy Sandoval. That was the breaking point. That was when, shit, we know a pro on fucking zero. No, not oh, what's up, my nigga? No, we chilled with him. Tommy would pick me up. At the time, he drove one of those cop cars, Crown Victoria. Maybe it was like a Lincoln. It was one of those fucking cars. He just picked me up and smoked me out a blunt. It was kind of gas. It's tight. Take me to the Zero warehouse and shit. It was tight. I knew this girl, Amanda, and her sister. Amanda had dated Derek Elmendorf, who was actually on Powell. So you can look that up in the Powell video with Aldrin Garcia. Starting to make sense, right? The connection. So when that had happened, I think he dated Amanda's sister. And then that was kind of how that worked. And Amanda had dated Derek Elmendorf, but Derek was a piece of shit to her. And then I kind of fucked around with Amanda. And then, Tommy was dating the sister, and it was kind of gas. I remember going to like a pool party. It was me and Tommy Sandoval, this girl who I was like trying to get with. And then her sister, who was dating a fucking pro skater, which I am now, which kind of seems crazy. But at the time, it was like, I was fucking like, I'm fucking at a pool party with like Tommy Sandoval. Like, this nigga's the gas. He's sick, that was great. That was like right after this like New Blood part came out, So getting that experience kind of made me realize about how like kind of fake that wall is. Okay, so like me, I'm being extremely real with you guys, but not a lot of people will be ever. Even back then, it was very minimal. Even after this video, people are really not, going to tell you the truth. But what it came down to was, what you see is not exactly the truth. It's a very, very painful experience to be a pro skateboarder. It's a lot of hardships. I know Tommy had, for a while, he got married and he had his first child, and it was really about his family, and that was super, super important to him while dealing with skating and like concussions and like breaking shit. But I know Tommy Sandoval taught me strength. If you eat shit, you get back up, because ain't nobody gonna pick you up. No one. Stephen Kashaw taught me confidence. He would just switch big spin board slides, some shit that nobody could. I've seen Stephen Kashaw switch 50-50 down like a triple kink rail. Like, 4th try. And then one day, he just went to college. Because that's what I'm saying, y'all. Life, it's just, you guys watch these videos and you guys fan out, but you don't understand how much pain and work it takes to not just let that shit go. Because it's really not worth it. Unless you sign a contract to Jeep, McDonald's, Paul Mitchell, Tito's Vodka. Like, unless you can, get on Nike. As opposed to, being on, like, Vans or something, which is gas. Like, Vans is the gas. I love it, like, of course. But, you think in your mind, like, oh, I'm going to stay true. I'll be on homie companies only. You're dumb. Because you're not going to be able to pay your fucking rent. So I don't know what you're saying, because that's bullshit. The best chance you have is to work at, like, Active, get sponsored, and then continue to work at Active to pay your fucking rent until you get on a company like Nike who's willing to pay your rent for you so you can make it. It's not what you think. When you're on independent, you get like $50 a month. Spitfire, $50, sometimes $25. Your board company pays you like $200. Your shoe company pays you like $400, but better be Nike or Adidas. Better be America. And even if it's like that, you better have a pro shoe. Because if you don't, then you can't receive the royalties from that. So you're still kind of poor. I know I spent time in Oceanside because I needed to travel from Oceanside to Carlsbad to skate the Zero Warehouse to try to impress Jamie Thomas, because I wanted to be with Tommy Sandoval on Zero. So I had slept under the pier at Oceanside. It's the same pier, it'll be there forever. I slept under there a couple times. I know one time specifically there was a rainstorm. It was like a little hurricane in Cali or whatever. And I was so cold, shivering. I just had food from the soup kitchen and clothes I'd found. A couple people gave me some clothes. I think I fished a blanket out of a trash can. I remember being so cold that I dug a hole in the ground and I started burning like old cigarette butts and cigarette packs and trash to like stay warm. I like made a little fire for myself. I remember spanging up enough money to buy a carton of Pall Malls, Pall Mall Red 100s, and I would sell dollar cigarettes, and that's how I would eat. And then I would take the trolley, not pay for it, get the fuck out of here. I would just hop the trolley and just go, get off, skate to where the Zero Warehouse was. At the time, I think it was like Jamie Thomas like really like let you skate, but like once you kind of known, you could just go and skate. And then that's kind of where I could like integrate with everybody and kind of meet the people that I needed to meet. But in the end, you just always came back to broke skateboards. It was actually Broke Hardware. Funny as that is. Broke is a hardware company, okay? It's Broke Hardware. Like, it's not... Like, we became a skateboarding company. Like, because Brian Scanduna is just... He's bought boards, like, and then we're like, let's do this, It's like, your brother. Your older brother, like, I'm buying boards, like, let's do this, let's rep it. And then Mike Page, he was a team manager from Foundation. So he's a realtor now, actually, but Mike Page actually ended up owning a skate shop called Black Wax. And Black Wax was the turning point. Black Wax was when, like, Jared had boards, everybody had boards, we had broke boards. Like, that was a time when I felt, like, rich, because I had, like, the boards from my crew. I got my skate shop boards, and I could tell Brian to like sell most of the broke boards because I could just get them from Mike. And then, we as Broke Hardware / Broke Skateboards would make more money because it was all family. It was love. It's still love. It's Broke Skateboards for life till I die. That's who turned me pro. So, I remember kind of like a really tough time, like traveling and like trying to do it. But I remember like, every weekend, regardless of where I slept, whether it was like at Jared's house or, there was a time when I was with Travis Thomas and we built this thing called The Hole. Like Joey Lau was like this young buck skater kid, and me and Jared and Travis would like skate this place. And we built this it was a cul-de-sac, and we built this little roof and shit like that, and we built like this little hut, and then like people would sleep there. Like people like Jamie Rossi, me and him would like sleep there. Like you can bring a girl there, and we did. It was crazy. But like it was a place, so like, but you just kind of had to survive the week. El Cajon's not really a nice fucking place. It never was been, never has been, never was, but it was home. It was sunny, 75 degrees, Cali, every day. So it was all about surviving the week. Come Friday, you call Brian, you're like, Brian, what's up? Where are we going? And he'd be like, LA. Or, SF. You just get in the van, get in the Forerunner, go. So, yeah, we would do that. And, that's how I got to travel. Like, I can't thank all of you enough. Brian would let us come stay at his house in Lakeside, and that was way before a Lakeside skate park, like, and it was like the team house, like, I'm just so fortunate to have Brian and Brad and Tanigi and Felix Elgato and Richard the Don, like all these people to like really look up to, I remember like Jared and I kind of like were like like we competed to be like the best, try to like go together. I think I got to take a little bit from everybody because Stephen Kashat wasn't afraid to jump down some shit and he was really technical. I learned a lot about attitude from Felix. I learned a lot of tech from Tanigi. I got drunk with Richard. Richard's sick as fuck too. Like he's sick, but he also was like, bro, like if you're having a fucking fuck day, like just like let's just drink some fucking juice. It was like the Four Loko before Four Lokos kind of gas. Everybody, I just took a little bit from everybody. Jared would teach me about like, handrails, and then, we would kind of flow together, but like, I would just jump down some shit. That was my favorite thing, was just to be like, I'm gonna die, but I would still try, Tanigi, like I said, was the tech god. Like, he could backtail anything. He could backtail big spin anything. He could kickflip backtail big spin anything. Like, nollie flip nose slide shove, and that was way before. That's why like the tricks these days aren't really impressive to me, just because you guys decide to do like bonelesses and wear like baggy pants again and skate Converse, like that's really not impressive to me. I could give a fuck. Just because you want to wear fucking chain wallets and you think you're fucking sick, or go back to punk rock and you think you're dope, or you put a grill in and some chains and all of a sudden, you can, I'm a thug skater. Like you're not. You just bought some shit and whatever. Real skateboarding is here and here. The hardest thing that I had to do was honestly just surviving. It was really hard to not give up. And not just skateboarding, just literally just commit suicide, kill yourself. Because it was painful. Like my friend Daniel had died. A lot of my friends had died that I looked up to. Whether it was drinking or drugs. My only defense was, like people, I'm never talking negative by expressing to you that my mom was an addict, but I'm telling you that it's a good thing that my mom was an addict. Seeing her do those gnarly drugs forced me in my mind to only want to drink beer and smoke weed. And then my older brother, when I was like doing like Vicodin, my older brother had told me like, just weed and beer, like, and that really stuck with me. My older brother never really got serious with me. He was always really, really fucking supportive of my skateboarding. When I left at 16 from Washington to come to San Diego, I stayed with my older brother. So big ups to Deshaun Harris, because wouldn't be able to do it. Wouldn't be talking to y'all, or y'all wouldn't be watching this. If you watch it, then like I guess like whatever. But I guess this is mostly just for me. As you know, the documentary premiering on my YouTube channel is really going to be about calling out the pieces of shit in skateboarding and then praising the people. Like Trevor Colton is a piece of shit. Nyjah Houston is a piece of shit. Tony Hawk is a god, a beautiful fucking person who's done a lot. Day One Song is a god, a beautiful person that's done a lot. And that's what I'm going to tell you, the fucking truth. Because that's what the world is. Call me the whistleblower of the skateboarding industry, because I could give a fuck. My liver is failing from how much alcohol I've drank in my life. It's going to continue to fail because I'm not going to quit. If my lungs cave in, doesn't matter. I'll light up a cigarette the next day. I can get COVID 1,000 times. I don't have it, but I'm just telling you. I can get cancer. Doesn't matter. I'm going to skate for the rest of my fucking life. I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to stop my lifestyle. I'm going to continue to strive and thrive to like have sex with beautiful women and have that rock star fame, because I'm not really into that whole let's do foam rollers and superfoods and acai berries and yoga. I mean, I do it, but fuck that. Yeah, I'm gonna be a rock star. Fuck yeah. I'm 33. I may look young and, I have 33% body fat, but it's because I work out and try to take care of my body. I haven't eaten meat for 16 years. I haven't drank soda for also 17 years. So it's just a decision I made after working at McDonald's. Now it's all tying together now. Oh. And then, another thing I really want to end this prologue on is how important it was. And the people. These names that I tell you, I'm not wasting my breath telling you their names. They're literally my ribs, Brian Scandunas is like the valve to my heart. Like Brad Brink is the fucking spinal cord that holds me up. Stephen Kashad is my ankle. Jared Cheney's my brother, my soul. Travis Thomas, my soul. I don't know if you can see, I am a black man, but this is my brother Deshaun. And this is Mina. Mina is important because Mina was Travis Thomas's mother. She spent a lot of time raising me and Travis and Jared as if we were her kids. Martin was his father. They kind of took us in as little rats. And they really took care of us. Carmen Thomas was her name. God bless. God rest. Rest forever. Live forever. But Carmen Thomas, she passed away from cancer. I think it was stomach cancer from smoking is what they said. I remember visiting her the day before she died, actually, yeah, the day before. And the doctor said she had 2 weeks. She died the next day. She told me in my ear to quit smoking cigarettes. As soon as this live video ends, I'm going to smoke a cigarette. It's one of the saddest things I live with every day. That I couldn't, do it for her, I felt guilty about that. I think for the rest of my life I'll feel guilty about that. Because it's not really like I can apologize to her. But, Carmen's amazing. She would party with us. She packed me bowl after bowl after bowl. Shit, dog. We'd rage, dog. She'd give me a cigarette. We'd rage. We'd use the gas. Carmen would used to party with me. I feel like in heaven, she's like, Dion, you son of a bitch. Like this, slap me upside the head or something. But, I know she'd be happy that I'm alive and, I didn't quit skateboarding and then now I can inspire y'all. But I want you guys to know that through the trouble that I went through, y'all deserve the truth. I also feel like you guys need to know that I'm 33 years old. I only have 7 years left of skating at this level. My next part will come out, and it will be the shit. It will be amazing. It'll be 20 years worth of knowledge of skateboarding. And I'm going to finish off my career beautifully. Probably skating forever until I'm dead. This part will allow me to get a pro shoe and get on these board companies, go pro for another company and further my career. You guys will watch my career, but throughout watching my career, I want you guys to first know my pain before. I don't want you guys to watch my skate part and think that I'm the shit because of my skateboarding. I'd rather you guys kind of hear my truth, and then from there, watch my skateboard and be like, wow, this guy can speak intelligently and he has a story of pain, yet through all that, 20 years of pain, he finally got to achieve something that took my whole life. On the other arm is Jacqueline and Dawn. So it's Dawn, and that's Jacqueline. So it's my mom and my dad. And this is my dad. Yeah, it's gas. I guess it's the easiest way to know how it starts. The YouTube video will be premiering as soon as I arrive in San Diego, because then I can literally show you guys like where Renette Park was and where I grew up, and we're just gonna go from there, kind of discuss. I'm gonna film an entire documentary. You know, I'm gonna sell it to iTunes, so you have to buy it off of iTunes. It's not gonna be for free. You can come to the premiere. Probably gonna be held in San Diego, Olympia, Washington, Austin, Texas, and Los Angeles. You'll have to pay for that too. Yeah, because your boy needs some dollars. I want to end with Brown Lives Matter. I really don't want to bring race into this, but I really want to start hashtag Brown Lives Matter, because I'm not black, dude. This sweater is black. This fucking chair is black. Look at my fucking skin. I'm an African American male. The difference between an African and an African American is we came on ships. Honestly, my mother taught me she's a hippie who became a model. She's gorgeous. But she taught me like spirituality, you know? And what she taught me was, you're not a black man because you're not black. This is black. You can ask a hairstylist. My hair isn't even what's left of it. It's even black. It's just a really dark brown. My eyes are actually brown too. You just have to look past the jaundice from liver failure, you know? But yeah, I'm a brown man. Maybe mocha. But I don't really want to be called black. Ever. Actually. I went to 4th grade. I'm a brown man. I'm not a black man. But if we're talking about anything political or weird, let's just be real here. Every single life matters. When I got considered for the Olympics and shit like that, when you look up my name, D''O''N space Haris on Google, first thing will pop up is Team USA skateboarding, and you can look up and see that I can qualify for the Olympics now. So ever since then, I'm really about Americans. Like, my color is red, white, and blue. Because I want to be on Team USA. It's the gas. Anyways, God bless you all. To my friends and family of Broke, I will see you soon. I'm coming home. I cannot wait. I'm just saying goodbye to my Texas family. I love all of you. Wasn't trying to snitch anybody out or anything. I really tried to keep it as like PG as I could. But I love you guys all. Thank you so much. I didn't intend on being an influencer. Just pro skateboarding became half doing gnarly tricks and half how many followers you have. So I got a lot of friends. And Google AdSense pays me, just like Twitter, Snapchat, all that shit too. Yeah, it's crazy. So now I'm an influencer. But before I do the influencing thing, I'm a skate. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Please look on my channel, Die by the Board, DIEBYTHEBOARD, or please check out Broke Skateboards. It's still there. I love you. Thank you so much. This is Dion Harris, signing out. Bye.